Hi everyone, Cleus Glory Young here. I wanted to come on here and do a follow-up to my recent post where I made a public apology to all women across the entire globe. Whether you're in the context of what we would say the life, as in life existence right now for you, or what you would say the deceased. Those who are not here anymore to actually be a part of this public apology. But for me, it wasn't just getting up the morning and saying, hey, let me post this public apology. I want to give you a background of where it's actually coming from. So the night before, I was actually journaling, and I was journaling on the topic of forgiveness. So I'm working on this project with someone, and these concepts were coming to my mind, so I started to journal them. And while I was journaling these topics around the topic of what? Forgiveness, these things just kept on coming up in the back of my mind like revelations. And I'm like, all right, why am I talking about forgiveness here in my journaling? But in the background, this is what's coming up. So it's coming up around things with women. And I'm like, wow. So here's it now. One of the things that came up from a revelation standpoint was highlighting how all the major religions have a public figure, which is a male context. And it's ironic because if you look at all the major religions, they're typically run by what? Male as well. But if you look at the symbol of who these religions are identifying with, it's typically what? A male figure. And that's what came up in my revelation. I'm like, wow, I wasn't even paying attention to that, but it's like, wow, all the major religions promote what is called the male figure. That's one of the aspects, right? So that came up. And then there's something else that came up as another revelation. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm writing on forgiveness and all these different revelations are coming up. And here's what really prompted me to actually write that public apology. So I'm going to take this from different contexts because these were the things that were revealed to me. So I'm going to start off with what is called mathematics, right? And I want you to pay attention. So in mathematics, you have what is called operational signs. Operational signs are signs that causes things to operate. Let's put that in context real quick. 2 plus 2 is equal to what? I won't get there yet. What that means is that operational signs, which is the plus sign, is going to cause the 2 and 2 to operate. So when 2 and 2 operates, right, then what happens now, it's going to function as a 4, which is the result. So when you're talking about operational signs, you're saying, hey, these are the numbers that are there. When you plug in the sign, then the sign causes the numbers to operate with each other. And when they operate with each other, then there's going to be a function. Another context you need to understand, when you're talking about operational signs, you're talking about things that are within the inside. So 2 plus 2 is on one side of the equation, and then 4 is going to be on the other side. That's why you would have equal. So equal 4. So it's on the other side. That side is called the functionality. So in the context of this, you have to understand that when things are operating, they operate from the inside. When they start to operate together now, it creates what is called a functionality, which is on the outside. It's basically if you go to the doctors and you're going to do an operation, they do it from what? The inside of you. If you're dealing with a cell phone or a computer, you'll hear what is called an operating system. Operating system is on the inside. All right, we get that, right? Let's look at it now. So we're just going to look at two major operational signs. So you have the subtraction and you have the addition. And I want you to pay attention because this is what was revealed to me that made me got up that morning and posted this public apology. Subtraction and addition. So that's a mathematical context, right? Let's roll them over into what is called electronics. When you roll these operational signs over into what is called electronics, right? In electronics, it's no longer subtraction and addition. It is now negative and positive, right? So these two signs, when you roll them over into what is called electronics, it's now negative and positive. As we're dealing with what is called the electronics, right? So electronics, we're going to look at it from a circuit standpoint. When you start to deal with what is called the circuit, right? Now you're looking at it moving from negative and positive to now electrons and protons. And that just basically means that with the circuit, how is the current going around? Is it going from an electron standpoint, or is it going from a proton standpoint? It's a lot of things behind that, right? So look at this from mathematical standpoint. It is what? Subtraction, addition. When it goes to electronics now, it's negative and positive. When it transfers over into what is called the circuit now, the circuit is electron and proton, right? But let's now go into something deeper. When you go into a little bit deeper now, you go into what is called the male and female. So that is now called the outlet. So when you take your computer or your cell phone and you're going to plug it up, right? These same contacts here, that plug that you're holding into your hand, it is called what? A male. The thing that you're going to plug it into, which is the socket, it is called a female. That whole context that I started off with mathematically, right? Subtraction, addition. It is moved to electronic, it is negative and positive. Move to a circuit, it is electron and proton. Move to the outlet, it is the female and the male. The same context, right? Why am I breaking this down so you can truly understand? So when it comes to now looking at it from that standpoint, this is the female section. If you look at it from a mathematical standpoint, right? This is subtraction. What does subtraction mean? To take away. So when you really look at it now from a religious context, they have taken away the female context. And this is all done by design, not by accident. And that's what was revealed to me that really prompted me to really do that public apology. From the beginning of time, they have been subtracting the female aspect of life. So look at this. When you talk about the electrons or electronic version going into the circuit part where you have the electron and the proton, you know what's really needed? The electron. The electron, which is why it's called electronics, right? Or electric or electricity. It's because of the electron, the negative aspect of it, right? And listen carefully to what I just said, the negative aspect of it, because this is what, when you talk about electrons or look at it from translation into people now, you say, oh, that person is negative. This is what you're meaning, right? You're saying that, hey, you want to subtract that person from your life. This is what is taught to us. Hey, don't hang around negative people. But you're not understanding what you're really being taught. So this is what this is actually all aligning to. That subtraction part in mathematical concept, when you translate it in electrons or electronic or the circuit aspect or the outlet, it's the female version. And it's so funny because this is the version that has been subtracted by so many things in society, from so many things in society. Literally, if you understand that context, this is why I'm coming on here and doing a public apology. So let's look at this as another revelation from an earth standpoint. You know what the earth is called? Mother Earth, right? And you know what has been done to Mother Earth, which is why we're in this climate crisis? Subtraction. We have been taking away stuff from the earth, taking away. This is what the signs mean in mathematical standpoint, right? Subtraction, take away. We've been taking away so much from the earth, taking away, taking away, taking away. And now we're in a climate crisis, right? So this is what is called global warming if you don't understand that context. But when you look at it, we have done that to the woman. We have taken away, taken away, taken away. All these things from the woman. And you're not understanding that this is the key component to give us what is called light, which is the functionality. So let's put that in context, because there's light as in the light that shines, and then there's light as in things that are not heavy. And we're walking around here being heavy because we have subtracted the thing that's supposed to make us light. All right. So this is what I wanted to come on here and share with you why I made that post. God bless.